to another lecture in developing a research proposal with an assistance of an AI, of course, ethically. In this lesson, I'm going to take you through how you can calculate sample size the easy way. All right? Now, before I go into the practical ways of calculating sample size, I'd like to tell you first what sample size is. So, if you are doing a research, you have two groups. There's one group which is called the population, and another group which is called a sample size. Let's take, for instance, you want to find out the prevalence of alcohol use among medical students. So in Zambia, so your population is every medical student in Zambia, regardless of the university. But when you want to sample out, you can't do a research on, you can't manage to collect data on every medical student in Zambia. So now what do you have to do? Because that is going to cost you a lot of money, a lot of resources. So you are going to sample out a certain number of medical students that will represent medical students in Zambia. So the process of doing that is called sampling. And that number that you are going to get is called a sample size. And there are ways in which you calculate your sample size. Okay? One of the ways in which you calculate sample size, first of all, the method that you're going to use to calculate sample size depends on your study design. So if you are doing a qualitative study, all right, if you are doing a qualitative study, um, if you are doing a qualitative study, there are different ways in which you use to calculate sample size. So if it's a qualitative study, mainly you use what is called saturation. So saturation method is where you collect data and you feel like any new data that comes will just be repeating, you know, like you've already reached saturation, like there's no new data that is going to change the results of your study. And others have already calculated what that saturation method is. So for qualitative studies, usually between 20 and 30. So from 20 to 30 participants, that is it for you as a qualitative study person. But if you are doing a quantitative study, it depends with what study design exactly are you using. Is it a cross-section study? Okay. Is it a longitudinal study? So for the sake of this, because I want to simplify this work for particularly students who are doing research, and I want the process to be simple for them, I'm going to go for a cross-section study because longitudinal or cohort studies are not really they are not really appropriate for students because longitudinal studies are done over a long time. So we're going to do a calculation of a sample size using a cross-section study, okay? Using a cross-section study. So how do we calculate a sample size for a cross-section study? There are two ways. One of the ways you can calculate using a formula. Another way you can use what is called an online calculator. So because remember my goal is to simplify all these things for you. So what do we have to do? We are going to use an online calculator, and the online calculator that I'm going to use is called Open Epi Info. Okay, Open Epi Info. So Open Epi Info online calculator is what we're going to use. So this is the link. Okay, this is the link that you're going to use. openepi.com slash sample size slash ss cohort.htm. Okay, so this is the link that you are going to use, and I hope I will remember to attach this link in the comment section so that you, in the description, I mean, so that you can use this link to arrive to this part, okay? Now, what are some of the things that you need? So now, look, there are various ways here. You will see a lot of things here, but I want you to come to where it says sample size. So you come to sample size, and then you're going to see proportion, and matched controlled CC, cohort, or randomized controlled trial, mean difference. So I said you are doing a cross-section study, a preference study perhaps. So you are going to come to proportion. You click on proportion, okay? Okay, so we are on proportion, And then we're going now, it has opened. So this is the calculator that you're going to use. So you simply click on enter new data. Now, there are some preliminary information that you will need to calculate sample size for a cross-section study. So what is the first information you need is the population size. So remember the example that I gave for all medical students in Zambia. So the population, you have to find out from online sources or whatever databases what is the total population, okay? If the population is too large, maybe we're looking at females in Zambia, or maybe females in Africa or whatsoever, you can leave it as the million the way it is. You just leave it, you don't tamper with it, okay? And then you are going to come to the second part, which is anticipated frequency, okay, in percentages. So this is also called the prevalence. So what is the anticipated prevalence? So remember in our example where we are looking at alcohol use among medical students. So has anyone done a study before to determine the prevalence of alcohol use among medical students? If someone has done that, what was the prevalence that they found? So that is the number you are going to put here. So let's say maybe they found that it was at 25%, then you are going to put 25%, okay? You put 25%. And then confidence limit is also another thing that you need. So mostly just leave it at 5%, okay? Absolute precision. So meaning that your confidence interval is left at 95%, okay? 95%. So I don't want to confuse you more. For now, just leave it at 5% and leave this number the way it is, okay? So now I don't know how many medical students are in Zambia. I don't know. Let us assume University of Zambia has about I don't know, 400, maybe copper belt, I don't know. But let me just put it at maybe 4,000. I don't know. I know that's a big number. Yeah, 4,000. Maybe let me put at 4,000. And then you just click on calculate. And there you are. It has calculated for you the sample size, okay? So, and you see it will put all the information there, okay? Population size, 4,000. Hypothesized percentage frequency of outcome factor in the population, 25%. That's plus or minus 5. Remember, that's confident that the number that we had put there, that I said no, let's leave this one at 5%. The confidence limit as 5%. So there, so it's plus or minus 5. Okay. Then confidence limit 5%. Then design effect for cluster surveys whatsoever 1. So just forget that is not important. But for you, your sample size here is this one here, okay, here, at 95% confidence interval. So meaning that you are 95% at 95% confidence, and if you collect, okay, let me just put it like this. Your sample size is going to be 269 to give you results that will be very reliable, and you'll be 95% confidence in those results, okay? So this, now I have to emphasize, this is the minimum required sample size, okay? This is the minimum required sample size, meaning that you can even go above 269, and you have to justify that in the sample size calculator sample size section, okay? So now what do you have to do with this, okay? So what you have to do is, if you are using Windows 10 or Windows 8, you should have something called a snipping tool, okay? Or you have to get a screenshot in short. So get this. Once you get this, okay, and I'm going to save this on my desktop. Research proposal. So I'll call this sample size. Sample size. And save it. All right. So we are done. We've saved that. And now, when I'm writing, let me just do this and open this proposal document, and then I'll come to the sample size part. Remember, this is the one that we had started, so I will put this, I will paste this screenshot that I have screenshotted. So you just copy this and come in your document. Why is it not opening? Okay, maybe I can just copy it. Wanted to just simply drag it. So copy this, close that, open the document, and paste that there. All right, there we are. Okay, now look at this. You have this. Now there are some write-up that you need to do to this sample size. Okay, so you have to say, okay, you have to say. So you have to say the sample size was calculated, okay, calculated using Open Epi Info version using, okay, so maybe you can just specify to say an online calculator, an online calculator, Open Epi Info. You have to specify the version, so the version will always, they will indicate for you, so this is version 3, version 3, okay? And then you're going to say the population, the estimated population size was taken as 4,000. So this has to be cited. So where did you get this information from? That it's 4,000, okay? So you can cite this depending on that. Like you have to search online the population of medical students. So if they tell you, you have to cite that, okay? And then the estimated prevalence, the estimated prevalence of 25% according to a study by, so you cite the person who conducted the study, okay? So you have to actually check online prevalence of alcohol use among students. So you will check, and remember you can always use typeset because it simplifies things for you, okay? You can always use typeset or size space, it's the same thing. So you can say prevalence, okay? Now, I might have a question for you. What if you didn't find the prevalence in Zambia? You didn't find the prevalence of alcohol use among medical students in Zambia. What else can you do? So you can go regionally now in the Southern Africa region. Okay, what is the prevalence of alcohol? So you search for studies. If you don't find, then you can just go maybe in Africa at large. Okay, so you go like that. You go local, regional, maybe up to global, okay, if you don't find anything. And if there's still nothing, then you can assume 50% prevalence. You can assume 50% prevalence. So once you search here, they will cite, they will give you the results and they will cite for you. So you can just get that same paper and cite here according to a study by, okay, and then you say the confidence interval. So this is the information that they will need, the confidence interval of 95%, okay? And okay, then class, you can say the sample size was the sample size at 95% confidence interval, at 95% confidence interval was calculated as, then you put, remember the 269 there, okay, 269, yes, okay, 269, okay. So the confidence limit, you include the confidence limit. So there are other information that you can put here, but this, at least basic, this information should appear, and your lecturer or your supervisor will not have a problem with you. So this is how you actually how do you calculate sample size. And remember, this thing you should put the figure legend by right clicking and then insert caption, and then you're going to say sample size, okay? Sample size. Okay. All right, so there maybe we just increase the font. We use Times New Roman and font to 12. And of course, color, maybe we can put it to automatic. All right, so that looks so much better. So this is how you put a sample size calculation, or this is how you do sample size calculation, okay, and insert in your research proposal. There are other ways, like I said, where you can calculate manually using formulas. There are several formulas that you can use, but this is the simplest that I recommend for you. Thank you so much.